Hey, what's going on you guys? My name is Elliot Ritchey, and today I am going to be doing a multi-video tutorial episode. And we're going to be going through doing color correction with just the vanilla effects in After Effects, and we're also going to do color correction with third-party plugins, specifically Magic Bullet Looks and Mojo from Red Giant. We're also going to look at the Scope Diffusion effect in the Exile 2 Team Taj. I'll have that playing right now just to show what I'm going to be doing, and I'll also be doing a transition from the Primal Team Taj. So we're going to be doing a bunch of really cool stuff, so let's get right into the video. So first of all, so we have our clip. I'm going to be using two clips. I'm going to be using these two clips all the way throughout the tutorial series. So anyways, there's that clip, and then there's a clip from Jazz. I'll have both their like Twitters or YouTubes or something linked in the description and such, because Mexy's pretty good at hidden clips and Jazz is montage maker. So yeah, so those are going to be the two clips I'm going to be using. So let's get right into the color correction. So first of all, Control-Alt-Y or Command-Alt-Y if you're on Mac, or you can go to Layer, New, Adjustment Layer. So there's that. I'm going to rename it CC, and we're going to get right into the color correction. So first we're going to do curves. Curves is a standard color correction adjustment. It's not too hard to use, so basically we're going to first up the contrast with this. So yeah, already we're getting a really nice contrast. Maybe not as much. Alright, that's looking good so far. We also want to desaturate it. So I'm going to put on a hue and saturation, and we're going to do -15 or something. Not too much desaturation, just enough to where it looks good. Alright. And then next I'm going to do a color balance. Smack that right on. Just really take some time playing with the values. You can hold Control, and that will make the values go down slower. So you can see like this is normal. This is with Control held down. And then you can hold Shift if you want to just drastically do it. So probably don't want to do that right now. This is really just nitpicking on the colors of the clip. Alright. So that's what we have. It's mostly taking out some greens and such, just giving it a more of a sharp, clean look. So that's looking nice. The last thing I'm going to do is use a smart blur, just for a tad bit of blurring. Lower down the threshold to about 15. Turn the radius down a bit. Alright, that's looking good. Of course I have this on half quality. We can turn it to full, and you can see it in its full glory. So yeah, that is CC with just regular default vanilla effects and After Effects. Of course, if you don't want to search for the effects, or you want to see some other options, you can go in the color correction, and there's a whole bunch of effects right here. Levels is also a really good one. It's more for an alternative of curves, but you can also do some other cool stuff with it. So this is just what I found to be the best with the vanilla effects, just through some experimentation. But definitely go check out some other stuff. Yeah. So that is color correction with vanilla effects. So let's do that with this other clip too, and then we'll do it with third-party plugins and get it looking a little bit nicer. So we're going to do the same thing. Curves, Up the contrast. Very nice. Do hue saturation. I'm sorry, I can't talk. I'm not too used to doing tutorial videos quite yet. But I try. Color balance. I never like a lot of green in my color correction. I don't know why. I just find red and blue to be some of the most appealing colors. But you don't want to totally cut out the green. Alright. Let's do smart blur. Not smart blue. Oh man. Turn that to half quality. See how that looks. Very nice. Alright, so that is with vanilla effects. Now let's go back and do it with third-party plugins. For those of you that invested in those. CC plugins. So first we're gonna do, let's see here, Mojo. I don't mess with the first two values because it's really just the tint and the effect that it has on the clip, which isn't a big deal. You can just do that with opacity and blend with the original, which is at the very bottom and stuff, so I don't worry about that. So we definitely want to have this part of the sun available and kind of bright. Turn that to -6. Bring that back a little bit. This is really just messing with values. The punch it is with contrast, so normally turn that up pretty high. And then bleach it is basically what we do in hue and saturation, desaturate it. And there we go. That's with some Mojo. Now let's add some Magic Bullet looks. Now hopefully this picks up properly, because I know last time it didn't too well, so I'm gonna hope that it is picking up, and if not, then I'm going to be pretty sad. So first thing you want to do is go to the matte and do a diffusion, turn up the size a whole bunch, turn the gray down a little bit, and up, actually don't up the glow, turn it down a little bit. And then turn the highlights only down a bunch, and yeah. Next we just want to add a light flex. Don't really need to change that whole lot, I might add a bit later. And then we're going to add another diffusion, and we're going to size this way down to something like 7.5. We're going to turn the glow all the way up, and we're going to turn the highlights only all the way up. And mess with the grade a little bit. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Next we want to go to spot exposure. Bring the first one up just a little bit. We want this one to represent like the sun in the sky. Turn this to like 1.3 or something. Yeah. Not too big of an effect. And then we want to make a second one. Bring that down. Why did it move over there? Okay. Expand this one a whole bunch. and then up this just to like 0.9, or not 0.9, 0.09. 0.9 is a bit much. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Now let's add a contrast. Contrast that a whole bunch. And then add a curves. And this is the same thing we did with the curves on the vanilla curves. This is just curves inside of Magic Bullet looks. So just adjust that so the top part is high, bottom part is low. Makes a nice contrast. Let's go load in. That actually looks pretty good. Just right from the start. The sky might be a little bit too bright. And then we add in the other effect. It's gonna be pretty damn bright. So that's good. I'm just gonna turn this, turn the gray down on this, and the glow bit. And then just make the contrast on this like, oh wait, no, that's I really need to look for decimal points. Alright. That looks pretty good for now. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. So that's color correction with third-party plugins. So very nice. And actually, I forgot, there's another thing you can do that's pretty optional, but it looks nice on some clips, some it doesn't look as good. If we go to post here and we go to Telekinet, and this creates some nice blurring. Alright, so that looks, might have a little bit too much of an effect. Yeah, just a slight effect. And maybe turn the strength of our Magic Bullet looks down to 75. So yeah, that looks very nice. And then this is how our vanilla color correction looks. And actually, if you combine these two, turn this to like soft light, and you're bringing the opacity down to like 33%. It gives it a better look. So that's cool. So now let's do it on this clip too, just to demonstrate it again, and on a different planet of a clip. At least I think so. Wait. Okay, yeah, it is. They're both relatively similar. So the thing about color correction, I guess I should have mentioned this earlier, but the thing with color correction is that you want to complement the colors already in the clip. So color correction is going to change slightly, not too terribly much, but it's going to change depending upon the clip and the scenery, etc. So you just always want to not copy and paste your color correction and just not change it at all in every single clip. Alright, Magic Bullet looks. I'm going to add in our diffusion. Alright, light flux. a highlights glow. Add in our first spot exposure, bring it to the top. Expand this. Add in some contrast. And add our curves. Lower the strength a little bit. Actually, I might want to blend this with the original. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Turn our first one on. Turn that to soft light. And actually, I forgot the telekinet again. And I think that actually looks pretty good on this clip. Alright, put that at 33%. And that's actually a little bit dark. So I'm going to add a brightness and contrast to it. Turn up the brightness a bit, lower the contrast a bit. Actually, I probably shouldn't have that on the layer. That is 33%. Alright. Make it a little bit more flat. Alright, there we go. That's looking pretty good. Actually, maybe lower a tad bit. Alright, that's looking pretty good. So we have our first clip using both versions of the color correction. So this is just a little tutorial, the first part of the series, on how to do color correction with third-party plugins, as well with vanilla effects in After Effects, so you don't have to buy anything. So this is it for the tutorial. I'll be uploading the next one hopefully soon, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Until then, have an amazing day.